This is a fundamental issue, and it just, frankly, I got pissed off. I mean, I got, I'm not going to mince a lot of words. You can bleep it out or not. It doesn't matter to me. I heard about it by reading about it, and I knew most of the authors. Tony Diaz and Bryan and Liana, they're all old friends of mine. So I had heard about it, and as soon as I saw the website up of Libro Traficante, I sent a check. I also sent Tony free books and said, I'll do whatever you need. This is just such a fundamental issue, and 2 days ago when I was talking to Tony up on the rooftop of the Empire Hotel, we were having drinks, I said, we have to hurt Hoppenthal. And I'm not talking about physical hurt, I'm talking about political hurt. This is how I function. How do you get this guy out of the school district that's doing so much harm to our kids? We had to affect school board elections. We had to get some of these kids' parents and some of these kids, involved politically, so that we can, there's going to be 2 school board members elected at the end of 2012 in the next coming election. And both of them, by the way, that voted against the Chicano Studies program and the books are actually not running. So, this is an opportunity. So I of course, started thinking strategically, but it's also, as a father, one of the things I want to point out is these kids cannot feel alone, okay? I was inspired to hear them. I'm inspired by you guys who organize this, right here at John Jay. I have a 17-year-old and a 14-year-old, and I grew up in El Paso. You see this Harvard, Yale, and all this bullshit. And, I grew up with a kerosene lamps and stoves and an outhouse in the backyard. And the way I got from there to Harvard is by discovering people like Rudy Anaya in the public library, by finding myself in print. And also by when I was growing up in El Paso and people put me down, sometimes other Chicanos, you'd be surprised, not just Americanos and güeritos. It's by finding my place in literature and also by fighting back. And not necessarily physically, by pointing out the injustices of what's going on. And I think that's what we have to do now. We have to learn to fight back on many levels, whether it's bringing voice to what's happening to these kids in Tucson, by fighting politically and organizing and helping them. Because I think one of the things that I noticed as a father, and maybe some of you haven't lived in the Southwest, and I don't live really, El Paso is not that different really from Tucson, is these kids are isolated in a relatively hostile environment in which, not that everybody's like that, but, in El Paso, when I was a Chicano and I loved to read, there would be so many people who would tell you, you're not going anywhere. It's not like New York. It's not like my 17-year-old kid who gets a lot of help from his parents and is supported and is shown the literature. So they're in a hostile environment, and we have to help them out any way we can to make them feel like you can seek us as advisors. In fact, the very first thing I want before I leave here is I want these kids' emails, because I want to be in Tucson in 2 weeks. I want to meet with them. I want to chat with them. I don't give a shit about Jan Brewer. I don't give a shit about anyone who's more famous. I want to meet with those 2 kids, and I want to give them some books. I want to tell them, you know what, you have any questions, you can email me and I'll talk to you, because they can't feel alone, and also to give them advice. And that's my 2 bits. I want to shut up.
Okay, that's